It's not unexpected. What we are seeing in these early morning hours, Thomas, exactly what we were expecting to see.
Well, and Sally's a little bit stronger as well, so you're adding a little bit stronger winds to the equation as well. And even as far west as Mobile, we've seen some tropical storm force and getting close to hurricane force wind gusts as we were making the transition from the night crew to our crew. Just looking at some of our cameras, we were seeing some transformers even blowing in Mobile. So today, make sure that you are hunkered down. This is a serious situation. Sally, a strong Category 2 hurricane, but the main threat is going to continue to be the amount of rain that it is going to drop. And in some spots, it has already been more than significant. This is rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. And as we kind of zoom down into southern Baldwin County and to Escambia County, when you start to see these colors turning shades of purple and white, that's when you know that you have been seeing some significant rain totals. And the National Weather Service has mentioned that we have seen some spots over 20 inches of rain. So this is just kind of a general overview with the rainfall totals. In isolated locations, these totals are going to be more. So in southwestern Baldwin County, 16.1 inches being measured by the radar, 18.1 inches of rain being measured between Gulf Shores and Orange Beach near the bridge. In Gulf Shores, as we go a little bit farther down closer to the coastline, around 15 inches of rain. You're finding those pockets of some very heavy rain even over towards Lillian, and then you go over to Pensacola, you're finding about a foot of rain, and you can even find rainfall totals about a foot as far east as Fort Walton Beach and Destin. And now we're starting to see some of those heavier rain totals working their way closer to the I-10 corridor. We're seeing about a half a foot of rain in central Baldwin County. Now we're starting to see it moving through central Santa Rosa, Escambia, and into Okaloosa County as well. And there are even a few pockets in Mobile County where we're getting close to about 6 inches of rain, and we still have a while to go. So let me go ahead and put the radar on and give you a little bit more perspective to this. We still have a while to go before Hurricane Sally makes a landfall. So that means we are going to continue to see very heavy rain. But for those of you in Gulf Shores, it's not going to be too much longer before you're actually in the eye itself. You might actually see the weather calm down a little bit as this continues to slowly, and I mean slowly, drift off to the north. So as of right now, you're still kind of in these northern, still dealing with those stronger winds. But for those of you that are in the eastern side of Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, over towards Lillian, over towards NAS Pensacola, this is where the worst of the weather currently is. So let me go ahead and pull on the velocity and show you what some of the wind speeds are looking like. So again, in Gulf Shores, you're still dealing with those strong winds. So in Gulf Shores, the radar is estimating around 80-mile-per-hour winds, and all of these are going to be out of the southeast. All of this is pushing in from the southeast. So you have a 100-mile-per-hour wind just southeast of Orange Beach that continues to push water on, and as we go throughout the morning, we will be approaching high tide. As you move a little bit farther towards the north, you can find that we are finding pockets of 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts as being measured by the radar. You're likely not finding 100-mile-per-hour winds as we are still a little bit of a distance away from the radar, but you're still likely seeing hurricane force winds. And at this point in central Baldwin County, those winds might be sustained. And as we go over towards northwest Florida, for those of you that are just west of Pensacola, the radar is measuring about 88 miles per hour. So feasibly, you're seeing about 75, 80-mile-per-hour winds down at the surface. And when you factor that in with all of the rain that we have, you are going to be talking about a overwhelming possibility that trees are going to be falling over and that power lines are going to be falling over as well. We're going to continue to stress as we go throughout this morning, make sure that you are staying off the roadways. We've seen damage all the way from Mobile, even a little bit farther towards the west, and all across northwest Florida and into Baldwin counties. And now we're even starting to see some of those stronger winds now stretching into the central half of Baldwin County. We're just south of Loxley. The radar is measuring about 80-mile-per-hour winds, and all of these winds are predominantly out of the east. Then as you go over towards Mobile and you go over towards Dauphin Island, let me go ahead and turn this off really quickly, and we'll go ahead and move over to Mobile County, where even on Dauphin Island, as you're on the western side of the eye wall, those winds are still measuring very quickly as well, 91 miles per hour. And these winds, as you're around the eye wall, are mainly out of the northeast and out of the north. So you could be seeing surge on Dauphin Island from the backside. On the western side of Mobile Bay, you have these winds going away from the radar. So those winds, as they go out of the northeast, you could also see some surge on the eastern side of Mobile Bay, possibly down by Bayou La Battery and also towards Alabama Point, where the winds are being measured around 69 miles per hour. So Hurricane Sally, Category 2 storm. 100-mile-per-hour winds, even though it's not technically a major hurricane. With how slow it's moving, the effects are more severe than what you would normally associate with a Category 2 hurricane, just simply because of the rain and also because of the prolonged winds as well. So we'll go ahead and go back to the radar and talk about what we're currently seeing. We're now getting to the point where those of you that are in Fairhope, you're now on the northernmost extent of the northern eye wall. So you're seeing the heaviest of the weather currently. Your winds are mainly from east to west. A little bit farther down to the southeast in Foley, that's really where a lot of the worst weather is, basically stretching from Foley all the way over towards Pensacola. And then for those of you even in the northern half of Santa Rosa County, the northern half of Escambia County, and all the way down to the central half and southern half of Okaloosa County, in these pockets, we are seeing wind gusts of more than tropical storm force, around hurricane force gusts. So the weather is still rough in these neighborhoods. For our inland counties, you're getting to the point now where you could be seeing tropical storm force gusts, and those could be around maybe 40, 50 miles per hour. Just south of Atmore, you're looking at a wind gust of around 77 miles per hour being measured by the radar, so it's probably closer to 65, maybe 70 miles per hour. And then as you travel inland, maybe tropical storm force wind gusts right along the Escambia County, Monroe County, and Conecuh County line. So these winds, they are very strong. But I don't want to focus too much on the winds, simply because the main threat with Sally is going to continue to be the potential for flash flooding rainfall. Where we're getting close to the center of circulation, we are expecting power outages, and we already have extensive power outages across our area. So if you're up with us this morning, make sure that your flashlights have batteries, and just make sure that you have a way that you can get weather information just in case. And we could see likely power outages extending all the way to the easternmost extent of our area over to Jackson County, Mississippi. And we also could see those power outages extending well into Monroe County and also into Conecuh County as well. So the flash flooding information that we currently have, we have one large flash flood warning that more or less encompasses our entire coast, with the exception of Jackson County, Mississippi, and a flash flood emergency as well in the southern half of Baldwin County and also in the southern half of Escambia County, as well as we've seen pockets of around 20 inches of rain, if not a little bit more. So within these flash flood warnings, you need to be taking heed and making sure that you're also paying very close to what officials are saying as well. The current on Sally, we're getting close to where we would see the next update. The time is currently 2:59 in the morning, and just on that, this is going to be a rapidly changing situation, and it looks like we now have a new tornado warning. So let me go ahead and go back over to the tropical alerts. Let me go back to the tornado warning and show you where that information currently is. And go ahead and pop this up on the screen. So we now have a tornado warning for the central and eastern half of Escambia County in Santa Rosa County in Florida. And these are tropical spin-ups. Where you're seeing this looks to be towards Parkerville. If you're in Parkerville or Floridale, you need to be getting into that safe place, because again, you could be seeing a tornado working its way from the southeast off to the northwest. So these are typically moving in different directions. They're all moving around that center of circulation. So Parkerville, Harold, Floridale, Indian Ford, and Spring Hill, I need you to be getting into your safe place. Not only could you be seeing tropical storm and possibly hurricane force wind gusts, but you also could be seeing a tornado as well. Let me go ahead and pull on what some of the winds that we're looking at within this as we get down close to Parkerville. These winds around 78, maybe around 80, possibly getting close to 100 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and put a fan on this as well and track this forward. John, what's the forward speed on this?
You're looking at a forward speed, rapid 60 miles per hour.
Okay, so this is going to be getting on top of you very quickly. So this is kind of a rough estimate. So this is going to be a very fast moving storm. All of these storms are moving very quickly. So in the next 3 minutes, this is going to be in Harold. Within the next 8 minutes, this is going to be in Indian Ford. Within the next 10 minutes, Rowville. In the next 12 minutes, this is going to be in Spring Hill. These times might be a little bit quicker. So maybe subtract 3 or 4 minutes from the images that you're currently seeing here on your screen. NAS Whiting Field within the next 13 minutes. We have a tornado warning that encompasses the extreme eastern half of Santa Rosa County, and it goes into the northern half of Santa Rosa County as well, as far north as Berrydale. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are getting into your safe place. Your safe place is an interior room away from windows. Make sure that you're hunkered down. Make sure that you have a way to continue to get notifications, because we could be talking about power outages in this area as well. I'll go ahead and pull on the Eglin Air Force Base radar, see if we can't get a little bit better perspective from this. So where you're seeing that pocket again, where we're seeing that pocket of rotation again, is near Parkerville towards Floridale. This is going to be moving very quickly off to the northwest. On the velocity, this is where we're seeing that current rotation. I'll go ahead and draw it out for you on the screen. Parkerville into Floridale, and all of that's going to continue racing away to the northwest at 60 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and pull on the shear, and that's exactly what we're seeing, where that pocket of strongest wind shear is now getting ready to cross Interstate 10. Let me go ahead and go down to street level and show you exactly where that threat is. So if I name any of these streets, this is where we need to be in that safe place. And if you know of anybody on these streets, make sure that you give them a call. Let them know that there could be a tornado on the way to where they are. So we're towards Deception Street. We're towards Murtis Way. We go a little bit farther towards the north on Boundary Line Road. If I'm saying any of these roads in the extreme eastern half of Santa Rosa County, you need to be getting into that safe place. We're also towards Deaton Bridge Road. As this continues to work its way towards the northwest, move a little bit farther to the north, you have Blackwater River State Park. So this is going to more or less be moving over the state park. And then we go over towards Indian Ford. If you're in Indian Ford, this is going to be on top of you within the next handful of minutes. So we have a current active tornado warning. We're going to make sure that we continue to keep you posted on that. But as we know, we are tracking Hurricane Sally. We are watching impacts across basically our entire stretch of the Gulf Coast. Let me go ahead and go back to the wide radar view and show you what we're currently seeing. We're watching more of these stronger rain bands, and there is the chance that we could see more tornado warnings pop up, especially on the north side of the circulation and on the east side of the circulation as well. The tornadoes, that is one of the threats. The main threat with Sally is going to continue to be the rain that it has the potential to drop, and in some spots it's already more than reached that potential. Already over 20 inches of rain in a few locations, and we do have that flash flooding emergency in the western side, in the southern half of Escambia County, and also in the southern half of Baldwin County. When the National Weather Service uses the words significant and historic, you know you do not want to take this lightly. And as we were watching these rain totals, as we go minute by minute, we're seeing these darker shades of purple. You get down towards the colors shaded in black and white. These are slowly drifting to the north, because just really over the last couple of hours, Sally's really not moving much of anywhere. So this is a radar loop of the last, it looks like, hour and a half. So we start this at 2:30, so the last 30 minutes, excuse me, and we really have not seen much in the change in its position. For those of you in Gulf Shores, you might actually get a little bit of relief as you start to move into the eye itself. But then for those of you that are over towards Orange Beach into Pensacola, you are now in that strongest part of the eye wall, and there's a chance that you could be in that part of the eye wall really over the next handful of hours, because when we go ahead and pull on the track with Hurricane Sally and play this forward. So currently the latest update, 1 a.m. in the morning from the National Hurricane Center, winds of 105. The next update comes in around 4 o'clock this morning, unless the National Hurricane Center sees some changes to this. As we play this forward, the National Hurricane Center is painting out a landfall somewhere close to the Florida-Alabama line, but we know for Baldwin County, you are still going to be feeling a lot of the effects, and really as far west as Mobile. So don't focus necessarily on the cone, as we know those impacts are going to extend well outside the cone and where the center of circulation is. Of course, it could move a little bit farther east or west, but at this point, wherever you are, Baldwin County, northwest Florida, and then into our inland communities along the I-65 corridor in Mobile County, at this point you need to be hunkered down. The National Hurricane Center thinks that it could become even a little bit stronger as it makes its way closer to the coastline, and then it likely is still going to be in our neighborhood throughout the rest of the morning, possibly into tonight. We're not looking at this really moving out of our area until we get to later on tonight into tomorrow morning. And then once we get into tomorrow morning, the weather situation then gets better. Again, the next update from the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center is going to be coming in most likely around the next hour or so, maybe within the next 30 minutes. So we do have that tornado warning. That is for Santa Rosa County. This storm is moving off to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is a very fast moving storm, and just since we left this storm that we were talking about, it was near Floridale and Parkerville. Now what we're seeing is that rotation is stretching up towards Indian Ford and up towards Spring Hill. If you're in Indian Ford, I need you in your safe place. That's an interior room away from windows. And again, this will continue racing off to the northwest around 60 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and cancel that off and give you the latest track when it comes to the rotation with this, give you a little bit better perspective, add the wind shear. So again, this is now near Floridale. This is crossing the I-10 corridor. Go ahead and put on that track again, moving to the northwest at 60 miles per hour. These are racing to the northwest, but that's really no surprise as these continue to race around the center of circulation with Sally. So putting on the track from this, again, moving 60 miles per hour, so maybe give or take a couple of minutes when you see these values here on your screen. Go ahead and move this back over to Santa Rosa County. In the next 7 minutes, this is going to be in Spring Hill. In the next 16 minutes, this is going to be moving over towards Whitfield. For those of you at NAS Whiting Field, it's going to be on top of you likely within the next 10 minutes, if not a little bit sooner. Within the next 20 minutes, this might be over Simmons Crossings. When we're talking about tropical tornadoes, they are typically short-lived, so that we might be talking about a situation where it gusts up really quickly, fades away, but then it could gust up really quickly as well. And we're also watching some wind shear outside of the tornado warning near the Okaloosa County, Santa Rosa County line. And as you go a little bit farther to the south, we're watching more pockets of rotation that are also near Wright, Fort Walton Beach, and we're also watching storms out in the Gulf of Mexico that have shown they could possibly rotate as well. So if you are on the north side or on the east side of the circulation, that's most likely where you're going to find the tornado threat. So if you are in the tornado watch, which encompasses just about all of our coastal counties with the exception of Mobile County, make sure that you're also prepared for tornadoes and make sure you identify where that safe place is, because tornado warning a tornado could add more winds to what you're currently seeing, tropical storm force and also hurricane force winds as well. We go ahead and go back to the rainfall totals that we're currently seeing just over the last 24 hours. And really over the last 12 hours, we have seen just some significant rain as well. We've been talking about rain estimates that have been anywhere from 4, 5, 6 inches per hour within some of these rain bands. So we're looking at rainfall totals in the southern half of Baldwin County and in the southern half of Escambia County now approaching the edge of the scale. We might get to the point where the scale no longer factors into play, and in some spots where we've seen over 20 inches of rain, we are only going to see more rain added to the situation. Again, for those of you in Gulf Shores, you might get a little bit of a break as you move into the eye wall. But again, all of this rain, that's only adding to the situation. Make sure that you're hunkered down. Please do not try to go anywhere if you are in especially Baldwin County or towards the coast. But I'm going to tell you, no matter where you are across our area, make sure that you're hunkered down. This is not a situation that you want to be outside. You do not want to be outside to even just go look around, even as far west as Mobile and into Mobile County. There are trees down. There are power lines down. Stay off the roads. The only people that need to be on the roads right now are officials, and there are some spots where nobody is going to be on the roads. So all of this, something to keep in mind. This is going to be a very dangerous situation as we continue to go throughout the morning, and Sally will continue to bring the potential anyway for these. They'll continue to bring the potential for significant and also historic flooding, and we've already seen that play out in a few spots. Let's go ahead and go back to the tornado warning and see what we're currently seeing. That shear is now starting to move away from I-10. It is now working its way towards Indian Ford, up towards Spring Hill. Let me go ahead and move down a little bit closer so you can get a little bit better perspective and go down to Street View for Ab Pittman Road. You need to be in your safe place just in case. For those of you that are on Munson Highway in the north central half of Santa Rosa County, you need to be getting into your safe place. For those of you in Spring Hill, Same goes for you. This is going to be moving towards Polk Road. As we go a little bit farther towards the west, this is going to be moving towards Steel Bridge Road, Spring Hill Road. You move up towards Fleming Bridge Road. All of this continuing to move very quickly off to the northwest, so it's going to be hard to stay on top of this storm. If you're in this tornado warning, I need you in your safe place as well. And when we talk about tropical tornadoes, it's really hard to find where that exact circulation is, only because there's such low-lying systems in the atmosphere. So Indian Ford up towards Allentown, even as far northwest and northeast as Berrydale and Whitfield. All of you need to be into your safe place as well, as you could be talking about a tornado working its way towards you. Let me go ahead and pull back on the storm relative velocity. Maybe we can get a little bit better idea of where this rotation currently is. And again, looks to be more so towards Spring Hill, towards Indian Ford. And it is hard to paint this out here on the screen, but I'll go ahead and draw it in this area. We could be talking about a tornado somewhere in this area. So again, Indian Ford up towards Spring Hill, moving very quickly off towards the northwest. And go ahead and put on one more track and try to add a little bit more perspective to this. Go ahead and pull this on where we're seeing it. Moving to the northwest at 60 miles per hour, so even outside of the tornado warning. For those of you that are in Century and even as far north as Bruton, I want you to be keeping an eye on this storm just in case. So 60 miles per hour to the northwest. This storm is dangerous, but you're also talking about very heavy rain. And you're also talking about not even included within the tornado itself. If there is a tornado, we could just be talking about tropical storm force or maybe even hurricane force wind gusts. And when you're talking about that much rain, that is a recipe for possible downed trees and also power outages. Make sure you're in that interior room away from windows. For the rest of the News 5 area, let me go ahead and put on the radar and just loop it over the last 30 minutes. Gulf Shores, we're now getting to the point where Gulf Shores is now moving into the eye. So the weather itself might be calming down, but you're still close enough to the eye wall itself where you might still be seeing some pretty strong winds. But the rain, at least based on the radar, looks like it's calming down for at least the time being. I'd still expect you to be finding some rain in Gulf Shores, even though the radar isn't showing anything. And the reason why I expect you to still be finding rain is because you look at the counterclockwise flow. Winds in Gulf Shores more or less are likely going to be moving down from the southeast to the northwest, but that could be blowing rain from the distance into where you are. So even though you might not have a downpour directly on top of you, you still might be finding some rain. Over towards Orange Beach, there's a chance that you might soon be moving into the eye itself, and you might be getting a little break in the weather too. But don't count on this. And when you're in calmer conditions, possibly in the eye, that doesn't mean go outside and look at what's happening. If you're in the eye, that more or less gives you a chance to reset yourself in your house and really identify where that safe place is going to be, and allows you to give yourself a little extra time to find out where that safe place is also going to be. John, how much longer do we have on this tornado warning?
Just a couple of minutes left on this.
Okay.
It should be expiring soon. These things tend to spin up very quickly. They don't last very long.
They do not last very long, but the fact remains, if you're in the central half and the north central half of Santa Rosa County, you need to be getting into that safe place. So this tornado warning will go away pretty soon. Let me go ahead and go back in, and we'll talk about the velocity and the wind speeds that we're currently seeing. And we're seeing more pockets of rotation as well. And as you go down towards Floridale and Parkerville, I still want you in your safe place. Even though it's not technically in the tornado warning, we are seeing a little bit of wind shear that's now moving into where the tornado warned area is. So if you're north of Parkerville or down to the southeastern side of Floridale, you still need to be in your safe place. I don't want you to move away from your safe place just yet, as there is another pocket of rotation that is currently working its way towards the northwest, and then over towards Indian Ford and Spring Hill. And go ahead and pull on the shear, maybe make it a little bit easier to see. We could be talking about a quick spin-up tornado between Spring Hill and also towards Indian Ford. I'm going to go ahead and pull on the information on the tornado warning itself and see how long it's going to be going. Let me go ahead and cancel that off. So again, we are watching some pretty strong wind shear in this area. Let's see. So 83 miles per hour, not even in the shear itself and within the rotation itself, 91 miles per hour. And then over towards Allentown, those winds still around 50 miles per hour. So even if you're not seeing a tornado, you still could be talking about winds that could be damaging. And that's really all across the Florida Panhandle into Baldwin County as well. Let me go ahead and switch to the Mobile radar, and we'll show you some of the wind speeds that we're currently seeing across our area. So again, down towards Foley, Orange Beach, and Gulf Shores, you're seeing some very strong winds. And again, not tied to a tornado, but the radar is estimating winds of over 100 miles per hour. Now, since you're a decent way away from the National Weather Service radar in Mobile, which you can actually see here, you go a little bit farther to the southeast, you're actually measuring a little bit high up in the atmosphere, but you still could be seeing winds easily 90, 95 miles per hour. And these are sustained winds. They're not even necessarily wind gusts. So you're looking at very strong winds stretching basically between Foley and move offshore just a little bit, 93 miles per hour. You continue to move offshore as you look towards the eye wall, 95 miles per hour, just west of Pensacola, around 80 miles per hour, and even stretching into the central half of Baldwin County and now even into the northern half of Baldwin County. We could be talking about winds of hurricane force, either gusts or also just sustained winds. So this, coupled with the amount of rain that we have seen over the last 24 hours, this is a recipe for down trees, down power lines, and going back to where we're expecting those power outages. We're already seeing a lot of power outages across our area. If you are close to where that eye is, power outages are more or less expected. So if you currently have power, make those plans to be without power for a little while. And since Sally is such a slow-moving storm, it might be a while for those crews to finally get to those power locations. So keep all of this in mind as we go throughout the rest of this morning. And we also could see likely power outages even extending into the far western half of our area and the far eastern half of our area as well. Let me go ahead and cancel this off and get back to that tornado warning. I think that we have just a little while left to go with this, John. What is the exact time on that tornado warning?
12 minutes from now, 3:30, this will end.
Okay, so at 3:30, this tornado warning will come to an end, but we're going to have to keep on watching the possibility for more spin-up tornadoes, and that's given just by that tornado watch. The tornado watch, I think, goes until 6 o'clock in the morning, but based on Sally's slow motion, that tornado watch very well might be extended. So let me go ahead and go back to the current information with Hurricane Sally, Category 2 storm. This is the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. And so we just got the latest update. It came in at 2:55 this morning, came in a little bit later than that actually. But it is moving to the north-northeast at 3 miles per hour. So we'll take any positives that we can get. At least it's moving a mile per hour faster, but 3 miles per hour forward speed, that is extremely slow. Let me go ahead and put on the latest track and see if that's changed. So we're doing this all live. Let's see if we can't see if the latest track has changed. So 2 o'clock in the morning. So this is the latest track from the National Hurricane Center moving off to the northeast. And the National Hurricane Center is still thinking a landfall is going to be somewhere close to the Alabama-Florida state line. Could be a little bit farther west, could be a little bit farther east. You're talking a decent certainty, though, that this is going to make landfall in Baldwin County or in Escambia County. But I will also caution you, with a storm moving this slow, these do have the propensity to wobble a little bit. So it could move a little bit farther east, it could be a little bit farther west, but a wobble maybe in 5-10 miles could mean the difference between being in the eye itself and getting some calmer weather and being in the eye wall. Maybe the eastern eye wall, maybe the northern eye wall, maybe the western eye wall as well. And then 7 o'clock in the evening, that's when it finally might start moving out of our area as it more or less rides along or just east of the I-65 corridor. And then heading into Thursday, that's when it finally moves away from our neighborhood, and that's when we're kind of able to reset. Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. We're going to show this graphic a lot throughout the morning. And we're getting to the point now where our scale can't measure some of these rainfall totals, which means we're around 20 inches plus in spots. And I did get a couple of pictures in before just getting on the air in Bon Secours where we're starting to see water getting close to houses. And I believe high tide this morning is going to be somewhere around 8, 9, possibly 10 o'clock this morning. Landfall possibly around 7 o'clock this morning. So you're kind of matching up the high tide with the landfall, and that could only add to the surge values. We could see surge values in spots along and just east of the center of circulation around 7 feet. So we could be talking about life-threatening storm surge. Getting close to 18.1 inches of rain again. You see the scale goes to 18 inches. Once you get past 18 inches, it's going to be hard for the radar to really tell you what's happening. But this is kind of centered in the southwestern half of Baldwin County towards the Fort Morgan Peninsula, measuring 21.2 inches of rain. I don't need to tell you that's a lot of rain. And when you're on the Fort Morgan Peninsula with the potential for surge and rainfall, that is just a recipe for life-threatening flooding over towards the Fort Morgan Peninsula. For those of you in Orange Beach, 16.4 inches of rain. Again, all of this is measured by the radar. So in between these pixels that you see here on your screen, they could be a little bit higher than what the radar itself is actually measuring. The time is currently 3:21. We'll go ahead and get you back on this tornado warning. John, are there any updates from the National Weather Service on this tornado warning?
Nothing new on this right now. It looks like it's just going to be allowed to expire when the time comes.
Okay, so let me go back to the Eglin Air Force Base radar, go back to the shear, and look at what we're currently seeing. So where we were looking at that shear that prompted the tornado warning, that was near Harold, Floridale, and Parkerville. That shear looks like, for the most part, it is starting to go away. There's still the chance that we could see a quick spin-up tornado, and some of the streets where we could be seeing that are Stubbs Road, near Lewis Road, towards Spring Hill Road, over towards Highway 89 in Santa Rosa County, over towards Penton Road as well. So we could still be talking about a spin-up in that location, but we're also seeing some of that stronger wind shear that we were just talking about a handful of minutes ago. I still want you in your safe place if you're in Floridale, Harold. For those of you in Parkerville, the shear has since relaxed. You no longer have to be in your safe place, but you still need to be hunkered down in your house. You still don't want to be going outside. And John, we're looking at a lot more pockets of shear out in the Gulf of Mexico. This is only going to be one of the threats as we go throughout the rest of the morning.
That is correct, and I did want to mention just now hearing that the National Weather Service is going to expire the tornado warning for Santa Rosa County.
Okay, so the National Weather Service will be expiring that because they do not expect the threat of a tornado to be continuing through Santa Rosa County. So around 3:30, we'll go ahead and hand things off.
The couplets have weakened on that considerably. So it says they have expired it right now, but the warning is still up on the screen. I think they will be taking that down.
Okay, so it looks like the threat of a tornado in Santa Rosa County has since come to an end, but I know that we have reporters all across, all over the Gulf Coast, and we want to make sure that we're checking in with them as well. Again, we're seeing the northern eye wall now working its way onshore, but we're not talking about a landfall maybe for the next few hours.